Well, hello, Consumer Warrior here with just a daily coffee brief for you with a couple of thoughts on the stock market right now and Wall Street money trends and what I think this could mean for Tesla stock in the near future. So, Tesla was essentially flat today, up a bit to close slightly positive on the day, while the major indices, including the S&P 500, finished down more than 0.5%. This is interesting because usually with growth stocks, you would assume that they would fall more on average than major indexes like the S&P 500, but they tend to increase in value faster. It goes both ways. This is a rare break from that, in which the major S&P index was down more than this growth stock, which means that it has a lot of its valuation is in its growth and its future earnings potential, which for anyone well informed of Tesla and its goings-ons, and they could tell that there's a lot of strong longer term potential, even midterm, near term potential is on the horizon. So this is an interesting time where perhaps Wall Street firms are thinking that growth stocks at this point may be oversold enough. Inflation concerns may be becoming a distant memory now as the short memory of the markets fades with a recent CPI inflation data coming out. And President Biden recently just gave a talk about EV manufacturing at a Ford plant. It's interesting that he would choose Ford over Tesla when the only EV that Ford makes right now is actually built in Mexico because it's cheaper for them to do it that way. And Tesla is actually the only EV manufacturer who's building cars in America, providing jobs to American workers. Of course, they aren't unionized, but they receive generous stock compensation packages, which could earn them much more in the long term, especially if Tesla performs the way that I think it will. But nonetheless, perhaps there is a certain favoritism going on. Perhaps the union is a target to secure more votes, or it's an older company with closer ties to Washington. The point is that any legislation coming out doesn't especially work against Tesla versus a Ford or a GM. There is language insinuating that it will not be used for luxury vehicles. Now, that is somewhat subjective because without a real number on it, it can't be quantified. So, a reasonable assumption could be that this would still apply, government rebate would still apply in the infrastructure legislation, which is coming soon, by the way. I believe there's a deadline for Republicans to offer up their nonsense deal that's not going to do much by Wednesday, at which point the Biden administration and Congress can go ahead with budget reconciliation to actually get something substantial passed through their slim majority vote in the Senate. Of course, Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema probably being the most conservative of that bunch to consider. So assuming luxury would mean only the S and the X wouldn't be affected, that would essentially be fantastic news for Tesla, because that's a small portion of their sales and revenue. Although there is a lot of demand now because they just re-released and refreshed the S and the X to be much better. I mean, the Plaid Model S is just beat the world record supercar 0 to 60 time, I believe. The Bugatti Chiron previously held it, and that car cost several $1,000,000, $3 million. The Model S Plaid is, I believe, starting at 120,000. And I guarantee that Bugatti wasn't the most user-friendly and maintenance-friendly. I'm sure that cost a lot of money if you actually did want to drive it. Which most people probably didn't even drive it that much. So, this legislation has steps that are coming up soon, which will be in the news. This could be a catalyst combined with the aforementioned growth stock possibly coming back into Wall Street popularity influence. So, could this be a bottom for Tesla in the near term? I think there's a strong enough possibility that if you have capital to allocate, especially if you already were interested in Tesla and are looking for a buying opportunity, it would seem silly not to put at least a portion of that now, maybe a third of your buying capacity, to invest in the stock market at this moment. I believe it's not a bad idea to use a little margin, although you have to be experienced and careful to know how much you could use. And if it does fall further, simply I would buy more, and I'm planning to buy more. I believe that it's very unlikely that it would go below 400. There's strong technical support in the $350 to $420.69 range. Really, no, but really, if you look at the chart, you'll see it. So I put it at pretty unlikely. 99% it doesn't drop below even 400. Maybe 95%, 400. 99% doesn't drop below 350. That means that's only a 5% or a 1% chance. So that means it's over 90% chance that it doesn't even get to those levels. And we could see a turnaround here. So very interesting times, very interesting times. I'm also interested in bull call spreads, debit spreads they're called, are becoming quite attractive with how expensive option premiums are. Buying a lower priced strike call, and these are for long term, 2 years plus is the only way I would do it. Buying the lower price long-term call and then selling a slightly higher price long-term call to offset the price can still lend itself to maximum gains of over 5 times your premium payment. And considering if you reevaluate over a year, you won't even have much of a risk of losing it all. If you don't like the way things are going in a year, you could simply sell that and take probably, not more than a 50% loss. The potential seems worthwhile to me. It seems a worthwhile risk to take at this juncture. So, yeah, Tesla, exciting things are happening. FSD is coming up. It's supposed to shock everyone, and I think it will, with how good the next version is, which focuses just on vision and eliminates radar. This is a major step. The factories that Tesla owns is about to double from 2 to 4 factories this year, essentially more than doubling their production capacity. Not only that, but these new factories are using new technology that's cheaper, more efficient, uses less space, and results in higher quality products with still better margins and cheaper to the end consumer. The new Model Ys that are initially going to be coming out of Texas and Berlin are going to feature the 4680 battery cell, structural battery pack, and single piece front and rear castings for a huge quality upgrade and cost decrease, handling increase, better focus center of gravity. Mwah, it's just too many things. Too many things to even list right now. So I'm very excited about the future of Tesla right now. And the cheaper it gets, the more excited I get. If the price, see, some people might think, oh, if the price goes down now, oh no. Maybe I saw this video and I was thinking of buying some and now it went down. Maybe I should sell it right away. I feel bad. I should sell. That will make the bad feeling go away. For me, if it were to drop down more now, I would only become more excited because that would be such a fire sale price, such a good deal for where I know this company, where the stock price has to end up eventually, no matter how insane the stock market is overall. It just gets more and more attractive. So I'm okay with it going up, but personally, I wish it would go down more fast, like drop down fast, scare the crap out of people, do a bunch of margin calls. Everyone who's like loosely attached, just shake them all off and just let me buy in at the very bottom and just make a killing is what I would really like to happen. I would be most excited if that were to happen. But I'm saying it might not. We might not get that opportunity. So consider for yourself, not financial investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So do your own research, but consider accordingly what opportunities are available at the moment. So that'll about do it for me. This is partially to test out the quality. I'm recording a video somewhat like I usually do, but I'm going to upload this directly to YouTube instead of editing it at first and using editing software, seeing if how the quality is compared to usual. It's somewhat of a test. If the video is interesting to you, please consider subscribing. I've got a bunch of links in the description below that'll help me out. Continue making more useful content. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Take it easy. Consumer Warrior out. Bye.